in school, you were not good at basketball.
No, I didn't play in high school. So I learned pretty much for High School Musical and also for this movie. That was about it.
Do you do all the tricks in this movie? Because it's quite the good tricks.
Yeah. It's little stuff. It's not very practical for in-game use, but I can spin the ball on my finger pretty well.
But in high school now, you did a lot of performing arts. You did a lot of plays and things. What was the show? Was it Peter Pan you were in?
Yeah, I was probably like 14 or 15, something like that.
And you're doing the flying?
Yeah, it was an audience of about this size, and we had these fly rigs that were, you know, over the ceiling. We'd essentially just stick to our own section of the audience and fly back and forth over them. So it was a pretty big, you know, ordeal. It was pretty fun.
But did you make contact with someone at some point when you were flying?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, you heard about this. Okay, so...
Word has reached me.
Yeah. There's, at some point in the show, you know, the little brother, Michael, he's the youngest one.
Yes.
He had a teddy bear that would accompany him the whole show. In our first big flying sequence, he would actually drop the teddy bear in the audience, and, you know, somebody would pick it up and hold it and say, hey, I've got the bear, and they wave it up, and then I would swoop in and pick it up. Well, on, like, the second or third show, we're getting the hang of it, I swooped in really, really close to this guy, and I reached down and picked up the bear, and I grabbed it, and I was waving it around, and everyone's applauding. And it wasn't the bear, it was a wig. It was some guy's big furry wig.
So Hannah Montana, bye-bye now, all over, all done.
We just finished the last season, and then so it still has time to air.
So you're not just saying goodbye to the series and your friend, you will presumably just see a lot less of your dad.
Yeah, my brothers and sisters are really happy because I've kind of stolen him away, and my little sister's really into horse riding, so he's been at all her shows. So I do feel a little neglected by Dad now. He's like, we've had 5 years. I am out of here. I'm on to the next one. I was going to be like a pro horse rider, so.
And school is nearly over now, too.
Yeah, I'm graduating. I finish. I kind of mark my school differently. Most people do it semesters. I do it by movies or tours. So at the end of the next movie is when I'm done with school.
How do they discipline you at school? If you get like a bad grade, like, oh, you got a C, what are you going to do about that? Go and do a movie.
Go and do it. My teacher, it's actually weird because I'm a little bit of a workaholic. She threatens my work permit. She's like, I will not sign it if you don't do it. And I'm like, dang it. She's here. You can beg her if you want.
Is she really here?
Yeah.
Your teacher follows you around?
You have no idea. She pops up in places that I'm like, why are you here? I'll be in an elevator. I'll have no idea. I'll go all the way from the States to here and have no idea she's there, and she'll pop up and be like, are you ready for school? And, the last time, he's obviously Justin Bieber. She got on to Justin the last time we were at Good Morning America or The View. She was like, is your teacher here, Justin? Have you done your school today? Do you need me to sign your permit? And I was like, you're embarrassing me in front of the Biebs. And my little sister was like mortified.
She's sort of half teacher, half stalker.
Yeah. You know, he prank called me, not realizing the time difference yesterday. At like 3 o'clock in the morning. And you're about to have no more Bieber fever, because I was about to kill. He kept ringing.
So the real Justin Bieber was calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, and I thought I was like yelling, because I thought it was someone that because my number gets out. That's probably why I didn't respond, it's because I changed it. So I changed my number, and he kept pranking me. And I really did believe it was like a kid or something. So I was like, I can't really yell, because I think it's a kid, but I'm not really sure. So finally I was like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, ha, 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 it's Bieber, call me back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna hurt this kid. No matter how much my little sister loves him, I'm gonna kill him.
Now, Zendaya, here's the thing. How old were you when you kind of started working professionally in the business?
I think I was 13 when I got my first Disney Channel gig.
Yeah, and now you're in your early 20s now.
Yeah.
Was that your show, your first
Yeah,
gig?
that was my first thing.
No,
it was Shake It Up. That was my first Disney show, and that was 13 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Hasn't stopped.
Is that younger than you, Zach, or you were younger than that?
Man, you were 13 on Disney Channel?
I was 13 on Disney
No, when I was 13, I think I was auditioning for my first play, like local community theater. My parents tricked me into auditioning for my first play. Told me we were going to Toys R Us.
They lied.
Really? Yeah.
And we've got a picture of you now. How old are you here?
I had to be like 13.
Is your hair crimped?
Yeah, it is.
How do you kind of put it in an elastic band before you go to bed? How do you make your hair like that?
I went to a performing arts school, and I lied about my age. I said I was in high school, and I wasn't. There were a lot of older girls there that were just fun to hang out with, and they did that to me.
You were like their doll.
Yeah, I guess I was.
This is, it's a wonderful thing because obviously there was excitement. You know, people love Jonas Brothers. But yes. But
One. We got one.
yeah. But and you know. But it must be relief that people want to buy the music, that they're excited they're buying the records and everything. That must be, you know...
That's incredible. I mean, I think the thing for us is that 6 years away from doing this together and the individual experiences and journey that we went on brought us back. But more importantly than anything else, just the family aspect of this, and prioritizing that above everything else made the payoff of this record and everything else even sweeter.
Yeah. And obviously, getting back together, it was top secret. Nobody knew. But Kevin, apparently there was a mole.
Yeah,
in the
there's
Jonas
a mole in
Band.
the family.
There's a mole in the family. My oldest daughter, Alina, she told her entire school that we were coming out with a new and so her teacher said, "So will she be staying with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, she says she's going on tour with you and she's leaving, but I know you're not making music right now." I'm like, "What have you done, Alina? What have you done?" And then parents started bringing her Jonas Brothers gifts from years past. So I knew then she blew the secret. It was over.
And look at you, Miley Cyrus.
It feels really nice to see humans and talk to everybody and connect with you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I wish I could be there with you in person.
And Miley Cyrus, no one can complain that you're lazy. We know you finished an album.
I love that Graham Norton only calls me Miley Cyrus. This is perfect. It's full name always.
So you're doing the album. I know you've made videos. You did the VMAs. You got your Instagram show. And then in the middle of it all, your godmother, Dolly Parton, who was actually, she was on this show last week. And so Dolly Parton, she called you.
She faxed me.
She faxes you?
Yes, she faxes me.
But you don't have a fax
now-
machine.
No, so she gets upset when you don't respond, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't even know. Half the people watching your show might not even know what a fax machine is. I know my dad has one in his gym to connect with, because my dad has 2 Blackberries from like 2005, and he says 2 Blackberries equal an iPhone, which is not true. But he's also one of those. And so, yeah, Dolly reached out about doing a Christmas record with her, and only for Dolly Parton do you sing A Christmas Carol in July. But she makes physical records, and so she had to get it turned in, and so I was singing about Christmas in the middle of LA summer, and only for Dolly.
What's it like when you do solo work? Do your brothers immediately give you feedback, or do they just kind of let you get off?
It is just so great not to be around them.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, they give me feedback. They're probably, you know, one of, if not the first people that I go to for feedback. Because, you know, they're trusted advisors as well as friends and also bandmates. And, you know, just so happy I don't have to split the money 3 ways.
Yeah. Kurt share. And I know you guys talk a lot, but wasn't there a thing where you changed your number?
Oh, yeah.
Which caused problems?
Yeah, so I guess I changed my number a couple years back, and it was attached to my old iCloud account. So someone got my number and became really furious. I would imagine if a bunch of people kept hitting them saying, "Hey, Nick, you know, what's up?" And he's like, "Who is this?" You know, I'm looking for Nick Jonas, that the person would have started to get frustrated. And they did, so much to the point where they were going to call the cops, and it was a whole situation.
Yeah, because I think we've got the picture of the text.
Do you?
So this is when your album came out, and people were sending lots of congratulations, and you go, "Stop texting this number!" It still comes up as you.
Yeah, the funny part is, this guy, Zach, is one of the producers of the album. Oh. So he was probably shocked when I wrote this.
Yeah, I guess I won't be working with him again. I heard you talking somewhere, Zendaya, how your height difference makes those stunts more complicated.
Thank you, Graham.
I didn't say it. Zendaya said it.
No, that is a good story.
It's a good story. Well, you see, there's a particular stunt. I don't know if it's in this, but there's a, you know, Spider-Man swings us on top of a bridge, and he places me there.
Oh, there you
and
are.
That's the bridge.
Yeah, that's the bridge.
We eventually jump off of that. I was
great.
screaming. Yeah. So he's supposed to gently, you know, rest MJ on the bridge and walk away from her. Because of our height difference, I obviously, if we're on the same like
Yeah, 'cause
point,
we were attached, weren't
we
we?
were attached. I would land before him. because my feet obviously hit the ground before he does. So, what would happen?
Well, it's called a bottom mark, isn't it? And the bottom mark is it's a thing that they do in stunts that is basically designed to stop you shattering your kneecaps.
Oh, yeah.
So Zendaya would land, and I'm the superhero. I'm supposed to look cool. And she would land, and then I would sort of land like this, and my feet would swing from underneath me, and then she would catch me. Like and they'd be like, cut! I'm like, stop doing that!
But you were actually very, very lovely about it. You were like, oh my gosh, thank you.
It's so nice to be caught for a change.
For once.